Genshin Impact. Where can I start?
Move this man!
Genshin Impact is one of the most popular games in gacha game history. The amount of views that they get on their YouTube channel is absolutely insane. The game has been out for 4 years and they're still going strong when it comes to views and subscribers. But the real question is, why is the game bad? Why are there so many problems and why are people complaining about the game 24/7? My name is Faros, and in today's video, I'm going to pretty much dive in with you guys as of to why Genshin Impact is the worst game in gacha game history. Now, when we take a look back at when Genshin Impact first got released, Genshin Impact was released during the pandemic. This was a time where everybody was inside their homes, inside their houses. There was absolutely nothing to do. Everybody was just consuming the internet, watching live streams on Twitch. Social media was booming during the pandemic. And this was the perfect opportunity for Hoyoverse to release Genshin Impact. And that's exactly what they did. When they released this game, everybody was playing this game. The game completely took over the world. A lot of people were playing Genshin Impact. The game literally blew up, and version 1.0 was definitely a good patch. This video is me pretty much, bashing a game, but I am going to give credit where credit is due. Version 1.0 was definitely amazing. The game was very, very fun. There was a lot of stuff to do, exploration, rewards. It was a fun game. But of course, after version 1.0, that's when everything started to fall off. One of the main things that people complain about when it comes to Genshin Impact is the lack of content. Sure, people also complain about rewards, but I feel like content is far more valuable than rewards, because if there is no content, then how are you going to enjoy the game? So content in this game is completely lacking. One of the main things that people loved about Genshin is that it is a free game. A game like this, if we were to go back to like 2014, 2013, a game like this would cost like $59.99 in a PlayStation store. But the fact that they made this game for free, I mean, it is a gacha game. Every gacha game is for free. But that's one of the main things that caught everybody's attention when Genshin first came out. When people were playing this game, people were like, "Oh, like, is this game actually for free? This game looks like it costs money." People were like, "Nah, this game is actually for free. It's free to play." And that's what made everybody want to play this game. But once you actually get this game, boy oh boy, you're gonna wish that you never touched it. I can give you guys a list of reasons why this game is absolutely pathetic. We have the resin system. Now, some people might cope and say, well, the resin system is actually a lot better because they increased the cap to 200. Still shit. It's still terrible because when you look at games like HSR and Wuthering Waves, if you don't log in for like 2 or 3 days, all the stamina that you didn't use, they're stored up. And once you log back into the game, you can use all the stamina you didn't use when you were inactive or when you didn't play the game. Meanwhile, for Genshin Impact, it's like if you're inactive for 3 days, they don't store your resin. You can't use any stored resin. It's just 200 and that's it. Once you log back into the game, 200 resin and poof, it's gone. That's your content for the day. 3-minute gameplay content. That's all you get. And you think the stamina system is bad? Let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is 10 times worse. Repetitive as hell. It feels like I'm in the infinite Tsukuyomi doing the same thing over and over again. Elemental skill, elemental burst. Elemental skill, elemental burst. No combos, absolutely nothing. You're just running around doing the same thing over and over again. How is that enjoyable? How can you enjoy that? How can you sit in front of your computer, do the same thing for 5 hours straight and say, "Oh, peak gameplay, amazing gameplay. Genshin Impact is the best game ever." You got to be delusional, man. Now, one of the main things that pissed me off about Genshin Impact is version 1.2. There was an event. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There was an event where you can get this free 4-star weapon called Festering Desire. This 4-star weapon is still an amazing 4-star weapon, but the problem is that if you are a new player, let's say you played the game in version 1.3 or you joined the game in version 2.1 or any update after version 1.2, you can't obtain this weapon. You cannot obtain it. There is no way for you to get this weapon. So the fact that they're making events, they're creating events where they implement these cracked 4-star weapons, and they're like, all right, if you don't play the game during this time, you can't get this weapon. Are you serious? Are you actually serious? So not only are these events limited when it comes to the time and the duration, not only are they limited, but if you don't participate in these quests, there is no way for you to obtain the rewards in the future. Now, some people might say, there are some gacha games that do this, but when you look at HSR literally has like an archive system where you can replay a previous event and you can still get the rewards. And sure, people will say, well, it's going to take too much space and all this nonsense. You can delete it. If they just give you the option to delete that event once you get the rewards, you're good to go. It's like there are so many ways for the devs to fix this game. There are so many ways for them to satisfy us, but they just choose not to. They choose not to because they just don't fucking care. The community has been asking for one thing multiple times. Not even one thing, but we've been asking for this forever. Where is the skip button? The game has been out for 4 years, and you guys still haven't implemented a skip button. And if I see any Hoyo cuck come into the comment section and say, oh, the reason why they don't want to put the skip button is because, the game is about the story. Fuck that. I don't care. I don't care because Wuthering Waves has a skip button. So Genshin, they can do the same exact thing. If another open world gacha game, if they have a skip button, Genshin can do it as well. There is absolutely no reason for them to not have a skip button in their game. It makes no sense. The reason why they're doing this is because they want to generate more playtime revenue. They want you to sit on your chair, look on your computer, look at your computer, and spam click with the controller. That's what they want you to do. Because you doing that gives them more money. The more you play the game, the more money they get. So that's the main reason why they don't want to take off the skip button, because they know as soon as they implement that skip button, their playtime revenue is cooked. Their playtime revenue is gone. People are going to play the game for like 10 minutes tops and it's over. That's it. That's their gameplay. But they don't want to do that. So therefore, every time a new patch releases, every single time a new update releases, new story comes out, no skip button. They force you to go through it so that they can get more money. I'm telling y'all, bro, Hoyoverse is by far one of the scummiest companies I've ever seen in my entire life. Maybe they're definitely up there with Netmarble for sure. And so many people gas up the story and make it seem as if Genshin has one of the best stories in gaming history, which is clearly false. The game is completely overhyped when it comes to the story, and I'm going to explain why. The Traveler. The Traveler has like 5 elemental abilities, right? Pyro. He's about to have Pyro. Electro, Hydro, Dendro, Geo, Animo, etc., right? He has all of these elemental abilities. Why do the devs refuse to make the Traveler use these elemental abilities in a fight? He went up against Arlecchino. He used 0 elemental abilities. He just used a freaking 1-star weapon to Dual Blade, which makes absolutely 0 sense. Why would you use a 1-star weapon against the 4th of the Fatui Harbinger? It's stupid. What happened to Festering Desire? It's like after version 1.2, the weapon just disappeared. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. The weapon is just gone. What happened to Festering Desire? I mean, and let's go ahead and talk about the power scaling when it comes to the story. I mean, the power scaling when it comes to the Traveler is just completely moronic. Like this one cutscene where Nahida, she got stabbed by these bandits. I mean, at this time, the Traveler has Electro. Once again, he refuses to use his elemental abilities. It makes absolutely 0 sense. But he can speed blitz, like he becomes a speedster when he has Electro. When we look back at Toma, when Raiden Shogun was going to take his vision, the Traveler, he pretty much uses Electro abilities to speed blitz and get the vision on time, and he also speed blitz to go on handcuff, to take the handcuffs off of Toma. So it's pretty obvious that for Electro, the Traveler, he has like speed type ability, like he's actually a speedster. He's very, very fast. But for this cutscene, it's like, okay, I see that these bandits are about to stab Nahida or Catherine or whatever. Let me not use my Electro abilities to save her. Let me just run in slow motion and do absolutely nothing and watch her die. This is the peak story you guys are talking about? This garbage right here, this is peak storytelling? Oh yeah, and let's not forget the Electro Archon. Oh boy, oh boy. Inazuma, the nation was pretty much locked up. She locked up her nation. Families were separated. People couldn't go back to see their families in Leeway. War started. People were dying. But, after that ended, Traveler was like, you know what? I don't really care. As long as I get to clap some robotic cheeks, I'm fine. He went on a date with her. She said, no, fuck Inazuma, bro. Take a picture with me. This is the peak story you guys are talking about. This is peak storytelling, you know, peak storytelling. And all the civilians in Inazuma, they just looked at her like, oh, that's right in Shogun. We're gonna act like she never locked us up in this nation. We're gonna act like she never took our visions, made us absolutely pathetic, you know, made a lot of people suffer. We're gonna act like that never happened, and we're just gonna be cool with her. Amazing story. No, and before we entered Inazuma, you know, all the NPCs and Leeway, they were straight up gassing up Inazuma, making it seem as if Inazuma was like no man's land. It was going to be a crazy nation. It's going to be nothing but battles, nothing but wars. You know, everybody was excited. Once we went there, boy, oh boy, I'll tell you guys, that shit was a disappointment. The war was an absolute joke. It's like everything happened off screen. Like we didn't really see much. Like the war really happened off screen. They just said, "Oh yeah, 200 people died last week. We're not going to show you, but we're just going to let you know that 200 people died last week, by the way." That was the war. That was the summary of the war. And when the traveler went to like the island to like the resistance or whatever, I completely forgot with was it Goru? I think that was his name. But he went to like the resistance, and then Kujosara came with her army. I really thought that we were going to get, you know, an all-out battle. Like it was going to be insane. No, we got a 1v1 session with NPC soldiers, I think like 3 of them, and that was pretty much it. They pushed us to a cutscene, like a 20-second cutscene, and that was pretty much it for the battle. So that's really all we got when it comes to the war, the Inazuma War. We got a 1v1 session with random NPCs that we don't even know. We got a 20-second cutscene, and that was pretty much it. That's it. That was your war. And another thing I really want to touch on is the fact that not a single playable character is dead. It's just so dumb to me how they refuse to kill off some of these characters. And then some people are like, well, you know, Hoyoverse, they don't really do that. Yes, they do. When you look at Honkai Impact 3rd, I'm pretty sure there was one character who died in that story. No, they can do it. They just refuse to do it because I don't know. They're just stupid. They're just incompetent. They're dumb. They have so many opportunities to kill off some characters in this game. Zhao. Zhao is the #1 character that they should have killed. Zhongli should have never saved him. I'm telling you guys, if Zhao died, that would have impacted the story a lot more. That would have made the story a lot more interesting. That would have made people quit the game long ago, return to the game because characters are now dying. I'm telling you guys, a character dying makes the story more meaningful. It makes the story more interesting and more intense because, you know, characters are dying. But the fact that every single time we have a situation, for example, we have the Pyro Archon, they're saying, oh, the Pyro Archon might die, this and that. Let's be honest, guys, the Pyro Archon is going nowhere. She is not gonna fucking die. It's just Hoiver's being a piece of shit, gassing up their fucking story, and it never happens. The Pyro Archon is gonna die. I think Kapitan is gonna die. Nobody's gonna fucking die. They're not gonna do it. It's the same bullshit over and over again. They gas up the story, right? Once they gas it up and you actually play it for yourself, it's nothing but a disappointment. It's the same loop over and over again. They gas it up. All these NPCs say a whole bunch of gibberish, and then once you actually go through the story, everything they said doesn't happen. Now, that's enough when it comes to the story. I can go on and on and on about the story, but it's pretty obvious that the story is inconsistent. It's obviously repetitive and boring, and some parts of the story make absolutely no sense. The power creep, like not the power creep, power levels are just dumb. Like the way that they power scale these characters is just stupid. It just doesn't match, especially when it comes to the Traveler. Like he was able to fight Tartaglia, but he wasn't able to save Nahida against bandits. I I just don't understand that part, but we're just going to leave that behind. What I want to talk about now is quality of life updates. So, one of the main things that most people complain about is quality of life and how the devs refuse to improve the game. Now, one improvement that most people were looking forward to was the artifact improvement, like you be able to select which main stat you want and which substats you want for a specific piece. HSR has this. I'm pretty sure other games. Wuthering Waves doesn't have this, I don't think, but HSR has this feature. Now, they implemented this in version 5.0, and you know, this was like everybody was hyped about this, including me. I was like, yo, let's go, bro. They're finally listening. They're finally giving us an opportunity to, you know, get the artifacts we need to build our characters, even though it's useless at the end of the day because there is no end game. But it's still good that, you know, they're improving when it comes to the artifact system. Lo and behold, that system that they introduced in the game, I think it's like the elixir system, is complete dog shit and it is a waste of time. That shit is a disappointment because in order for you to select the main stats you need, most people would go for circlet, to get crit rate, crit damage, and it will go for the cup. Not the cup, but the goblet. You will get hydro damage bonus, a crowd damage bonus. Like you will get elemental damage bonus because it's really hard for you to get a specific elemental damage bonus for a specific character. So those are like the two main things people were grinding for. People wanted to pick when it comes to selecting which main stuff that you want for a specific piece, the circlet or the goblet. But in order for you to get these elixirs, you would have to, you can only get them once every, I think, 2 months or once every month. So it's going to take you probably 3 or 2 months to get one, keyword one artifact, one custom artifact. And the worst part is, once you level up that artifact, the chances of you receiving good substats, the chances of you leveling up, the substat that you picked, that you chose, is not going to happen because you might roll flat defense or flat attack. So it's like at the end of the day, it's useless. It's like at this point, Hoyoverse, this is like one of their unique abilities. They have the ability to disappoint and give you hope at the same time. They give you hope, and then 2 seconds later, you're disappointed. I don't understand how they do it. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. They're very, very good when it comes to disappointment. So that system is complete trash. Like it was like that's one of the main things that made people have hope for this. That's one of the main things that made people want to return to this game was the new artifact, the elixir system, where you can, you know, use these elixirs to get custom artifacts, and you can pretty much customize these artifacts. But the fact that you have to sacrifice 5-star artifacts to only get one artifact per month is just complete garbage. Plus, they want you to spend money to get more elixirs in the battle pass. So it's like what they're pretty much saying is that if you're a free-to-play player, fuck you, we don't care about you. But if you do spend money on the game, you're gonna get more elixirs. You guys are fucking pathetic. Dawe, once again, if you're watching this video, I hope you're watching this. If you're not, I hope you're still watching it. If you're watching this video, bro. Oh yeah, and let's go ahead and talk about how Natlin characters, their exploration abilities are useless outside of Natlin. Sure, you can still use their abilities, but it's only gonna last for like 3 seconds, so what's the point? Like, what are we doing? Oyverse, what are you guys doing? Dawe, Crybaby, what are you doing? Like, this guy really thinks that his tears are gonna save him. Like, it's really funny how people thought that, Dawe crying was gonna, like, he really thought that was gonna do something. No, it's not gonna do anything. Those crocodile tears won't do shit. Take the pacifier out your mouth, fix your fucking game. And then people are gonna defend him and be like, oh, it's lore accurate that, Natlin characters are, you can't use their, exploration abilities outside of Natlin because of phlogiston energy. Okay, so you want to talk about lore accurate? How come Archons, they receive fall damage? How come a character who can split a mountain in half, they die to fall damage? How come they can drown underwater? Let's talk about it. How come, all right, how come Venti, an animal Archon, the god of wind, he can't gather Klee's bombs with his wind abilities, but Kazuha, who's a human being who got his powers from Venti, who got his powers from the animal Archon, he can gather Klee's bombs. You guys want to talk about lore accurate? Talk about that. Like, there are just so many problems in this game. I can go on forever about it. But last thing we're going to talk about is this community. This community is by far one of the most disgusting communities I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. Like, there's always a toxic, like, whenever you look at a gaming community, right? League of Legends, Valorant, Clash of Clans, there's always that one toxic group. Like, there's always a small portion of toxicity in every community. But Genshin is like on a whole different level of toxicity. Like, these people are actually mentally ill. These people will literally send you death threats. right, over characters, fictional characters. If you literally told somebody that, hey, Mavwika, I don't think she's a cool character, that person, I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled up to your house with a gun and they said, you know what, I'm gonna kill you. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, because these people are mentally ill. It's like they synchronize their life with the game. And it's like if you criticize the game, it's like you're criticizing them, so therefore they feel offended. These people are sick. Like, I'm pretty sure there was an incident where like Infinity Nikki, uh, Genshin players, like they went to like Infinity, like they went to the Infinity Nikki community or whatever, and they I think they hacked the game, like they hacked Infinity Nikki's website, something like that. Maybe this is true, maybe this is not true. I don't know, but I heard this rumor that, Infinity Nikki, their website, or I don't know, they got hacked. And then they said like the person who hacked Infinity Nikki, they're like, "Oh, Genshin is better, go play Genshin," something like that. It's like, I'm telling y'all, bro, Genshin community is sick. These people are mentally ill. They are mentally challenged. And what makes it so hilarious is that when people criticize this game, they get so offended. They're like, "Oh, stop, leave my multi-billion-dollar company alone." Like, they get so pissed off about it. And it's like, bro, do you understand that me criticizing the game makes the game better? Like, if you love Genshin that much, wouldn't you want the game to be better? That's exactly what I'm doing. So why are you mad at the fact that I'm criticizing the game? It's like their brains are too small, their brains are the size of a raisin, so they don't understand. And I also wanted to call out, the Hoyoverse content creators. I'm not gonna say their names, but you guys might know who exactly I'm talking about. These content creators, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, they're fake as fuck, bro. I'm gonna be real. They're fake. Like, they don't give, they're genuine, like they don't express their actual opinion. Like, they don't actually tell you guys the truth. They will see an update trailer, right? Version 5.3, whatever. They will say, "Oh, this is the best update in Genshin Impact history." Stop fucking lying, bro. No, it's not. It is not the best update. You're lying to yourself. The reason why these people, they glaze these games, not these games, but they glaze Genshin, is because over 75% of their community, their subscribers, are Hoyo shills. They're white knights. So if they say anything negative about Genshin, they're gonna lose a chunk of subscribers and they're gonna lose a lot of viewers. They're gonna lose a lot of views. So that's the main reason why they're always glazing the game, because they know that over 75% of their community are Hoyo shills. But once they say anything bad about the game, it's over. And I don't blame them. Hey, if you want to make money, if you want to, keep making money, do your thing, bro. Get that bread. But I'm still gonna call them out and say, hey, bro, like, if you feel some way about the game, if you know that the game is literally lacking, if you know there's a lot of issues in this game, don't be afraid to say what you got to say. And of course, there's probably a contract, and that's the reason why they don't want to say anything about it. But dude, fuck the contract, bro. Like, fuck the contract, man. This game is trash. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if in the contract, somewhere in the contract, it says you can't shit talk our game. You can't say anything bad about our game. If that's actually true, bro, like, yo, Hoyoverse, y'all niggas is trash as fuck for that. Like, y'all actually lame as hell if you guys have that on your contract. Like, that is just so embarrassing and just dumb. Like, I don't understand why some companies do that shit. Now, I'm not assuming that they have that in their contract, but I'm just saying, if they do have that in their contract, fuck y'all, bro. Fuck y'all. But anyways, yeah, when it comes to these content creators, y'all gotta stop being fake, bro. Y'all gotta stop being fake when it comes to these reactions, bro. Like, if an update is trash, it's trash, bro. Like, you can have your opinion, but you still can't deny the facts. The update is ass. Like, it's just trash. Like, 5.0 update was a disaster. The elixir system was terrible. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of the content creators, they still defended that shit. It's just crazy how they would glaze the game, make these fake reactions saying Genshin is one of the best games ever, when it's clearly not true. So overall, those are pretty much one of the main things I want to talk about when it comes to Genshin. I mean, not Genshin, Genshin Impact, and why this game is just terrible. Like, I feel like if you never played this game before, and if you're thinking about playing this game, I wouldn't recommend you to play this game. It is a waste of time. This game is an absolute waste. There are some rewards that are locked behind story quests. For example, the R&R quest. By the way, the R&R quest, don't ever play that fucking quest in your life. If you see R&R anywhere on your screen, immediately close the application, close the fucking game, and just uninstall. Like, just don't even play the game at all, bro. At that point, once you reach Sumeru, leave the game. That's it. It's over. The game is done. R&R Quest is one of the worst things I've ever seen in a video game. It is completely atrocious. The fact that they locked, they locked they locked some locations on the Samara map because of R&R Quest. And it's like in order for you to get these rewards, in order for you to get access to like this tree, I think it was called the Vernara tree. You like this tree pretty much gives you like primo gems and gives you wishes. Like the main reason why a lot of people did R&R Quest is because of the rewards. But it's just so scummy the fact that you're forced to play this quest in order for you to get these rewards. And the quest was just fucking horrible. It was just so much yapping. You're just walking around, running to every single teleport waypoint. It was just a chore. And the quest it took me 2 weeks to complete that quest. I'm being honest with y'all. It took me 2 weeks, man. I just couldn't bring myself to finish that quest. I just couldn't. Like, it was just painful. That just shows that the storytelling, like the story when it comes to Genshin, is so shit. It's not even funny. It feels like somebody is taking a knife and stabbing me 20 times whenever I play through the fucking story. It's just so bad. It might seem as if I'm exaggerating, but I'm being dead ass with y'all. The story is fucking horrible. Like you would spend the entire story quest yapping, talking, and then they're gonna show you one little cinematic cutscene, one cutscene. They show you a little something, and then boom, that's it. That's all you get. That's the story. That's the Archon quest. For example, I think the last quest when they showed like the moon shatters in the sky, and that was it for the quest, right? Everybody was like, "Oh, this quest is peak." I'm like, "Are you serious?" So the quest is peak because of a 10-second cutscene. That's why the quest is peak. And by the way, when it came to the Natlan War, I couldn't take it seriously, bro, because they made it seem as if this war, like so many people died, and it's like when you go around the map, you just see like 3 NPCs on the ground dead. I'm sorry, I just couldn't take it seriously. And when they force you to get on this little balloon platform, like the hot air balloon, it's like it took forever for you to get to the split. Like it took forever for you to get to the battlefield. It was just so bad. Like the way they executed the Natlan War is just fucking terrible, man. But that's pretty much it for today's video, man. Once again, Genshin Impact, this game is dog shit. I'm sorry. If this hurts your feelings, I don't really care. Just wanted to make a video talking about how shit this game is. But hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and dislike the video, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.